morning, I'm Anna Palmer.
And I'm Jake Sherman.
And welcome to the Daily Punch, brought to you by Punch News. It's Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. All right, let's get into the mix. Here are your Washington headlines of the day. Number one, Speaker Mike Johnson heads into August recess with some wins. Number two, don't want Senate Majority Leader John Thune's endorsement. He's fine with that. And number three, Clarity's problems run deeper than you think. All right, Jake, let's get to it. We've been talking all week about the Speaker's plan to cobble together a lot of things in one rule and the challenges that went with it. But you got to give credit where credit is due. He is coming out of this week in a really strong position.
I will again say, as we said yesterday, I wasn't doubting him. I just was noting the challenges of getting all this stuff done. And guess what? He has gotten it done. That is a big win for him, getting NDAA, the quasi-ban on stock trading through the House, and also the budget resolution, which is just a massive, massive victory. Now the question becomes, what does the Senate do? And the Senate, in my estimation, based on our reporting, Andrew's reporting, Laura's reporting, whoever else who wrote this top, they might not take this up until the lame duck. Like our conversations with people, Anna, in the Senate Republican sphere is that they do not want a vote-a-rama of any sort before the lame duck session of Congress. John Thune says remains to be seen whether it happens before the lame duck. We'll see how we do in terms of funding the government. Now, the practical implications are something we've talked about in the past, which is the Pentagon needs some cash, and they might run out of money by next month. And also there's the SAVE Act, which the president's getting restless over. And so that's kind of where we are. And I think that's going to frustrate a lot of House Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that tension is a tale as old as time. I mean, I think you got to give the Speaker, listen, he had a strategy, was able to execute on it after weeks of having challenges and just opening the floor on much simpler things. But as you say, like now this kind of the Republican passed partisan bills, hit the kind of the other side of the chamber. And clearly John Thune not feeling pressure or deciding that, he's going to do the best thing he thinks it should be for his members, particularly going into what many think is going to be a very tough election cycle for Republicans. And a vote-a-rama, I mean, that is politically perilous for Republicans, and the ability to actually, be able to push back certain provisions probably wouldn't happen, right? I mean, this is just the difference between the two chambers, but you had the president in Georgia yesterday clearly frustrated. He wants the Save America Act. He wants the filibuster to go away. He's trying to kind of rally the base here on those issues. But, at the same time, it's so interesting because it's almost like split screens between where House Republicans and Trump are on all of these issues and where the reality of Senate Republicans are.
Yeah, that's right. And that's not to say that Trump doesn't just pressure Thune to do something sooner, right?
Yeah.
But reconciliation is a multi-step process in that the House passes a budget resolution, the Senate has to pass the same budget resolution. They both have to pass the same budget resolution in effect. And the House can't continue on its process filling out the details of reconciliation until the Senate moves. So today is the House's last day in session, Anna, until August 31st. Nice life if you can get it.
It's not your last day until August 31st, let me tell you, Jake.
I wish it were. If it were, I would be going to see Fish in Madison Square Garden tonight. Or at some other point in the next week. Instead, I'll be in the Capitol and interviewing Ron Johnson on Flyout Day today.
I wanted to say that. It's important.
Yeah.
What a time to have Senator Ron Johnson, the Republican from Wisconsin, incoming budget chair, who's going to have to deal with this House budget resolution, get the committee on board. I mean, this is an early test of how he will run that panel.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we are. And what a world.
All right. Make sure to tune into Flyout Day later today because we will have all of Johnson's thoughts on this and much more. All right, Jake, let's go to the number 2 story of the morning. Senate Majority Leader John Thune is under constant pressure from President Donald Trump to pass the Save America Act and end the filibuster, 2 major Trump priorities that have animated his base. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen in the Senate. And oftentimes Thune has to be the backstop or has been put in that position. And now that's impacting whether or not he gets active in GOP primaries.
That's right. Very interesting because this came to our attention, and Andrew wrote this item. It came to our attention when Thune declined to endorse Darlene Graham,
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham's sister, who's running for the seat. He said, my endorsement isn't going to be helpful. And I think that's the truth. This is something that we are very familiar with when it comes to congressional leaders, which is candidates who have their endorsement become,
Leadership becomes toxic. It just is the truth.
it does. Yeah.
We saw this with Pelosi, with so many leaders across time.
Most pronounced with Pelosi, but
Correct.
certainly other people have fallen into that trap as well. Chuck Schumer, for example, when in Michigan, people are saying that Haley Stevens is a tool of Chuck Schumer, et cetera, et cetera. What does it mean in the future? Nothing. Thune's job is to raise money on the political side and to help candidates get into the Senate, right? Like, I don't think there are a lot of voters out there who are saying, man, I really wonder what John Thune thinks about this race. Let me check. Let me go see where Thune is before I cast this ballot.
If I don't know where John Thune is in this primary, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Thune is, but once I figure it out, that's what I'm going to vote. Okay, I don't think that's happening. So his job is to endorse people, at least to his political team, and then spend money. So anyway, great item from Andrew about the shifting position of John Thune in the Senate Republican Conference.
All right, let's move to the number 3 story of the morning. Our very own Brendan Peterson back on it when it comes to Clarity Act and the future of this crypto legislation, reporting this morning in a classic Brendan lead. He writes, "It's finally showtime for the Clarity Act. Things are off to a bad start."
The Clarity Act, which is, again, the crypto-related legislation, has significant problems and detractors in both parties. Without a resolution before August, the August recess, which is about 2 weeks away, legislators believe the Clarity Act might as well be dead. John Curtis and John Cornyn, two different Johns, said that they share concerns, with the banking sector about the impact of stablecoin yield on community bank deposits. And Bill Cassidy, he said that he is actively getting his concerns with Clarity addressed. And Democrats, Angela Alsobrooks, says that the Clarity Act falls short. So,
we'll have to see. I mean, time is really of the essence here, Jake.
Yes,
I mean,
it
they've got to get moving here before they go out to their August recess in order for things to actually feel like that this might get done. A huge issue. Obviously, crypto spending a ton of money and backing candidates this cycle has shown kind of their willingness to get involved in big ways when lawmakers are not on their side. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Both sides have been up on Capitol Hill lobbying a ton. Great item, and we will continue to cover this. All right, with that, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. If you like the Daily Punch, share on social media. Tell your friends. It's the best way to find out about us. And of course, you can go deeper for all these issues and more by going to punchbowl.news and sign up for our free morning newsletter. All it takes is an email. Have a great day and stay safe, everybody.